Hi, my name is Kieran, and for my topic I chose memory and advertisements. So the first peer-reviewed article focused on sexual images and advertisements. So what this study assessed was the use of sexual appeal effects on both men and women. So what happened in this study was that they used mixed factorial experiment where they assessed visual recognition and recall for both men and women in the sample. So what they found was that men in the study recalled and encoded less brand information of those images that they were shown, but they did remember what they saw just as the same as the women in the study, but the brand information that was provided just wasn't remembered as well. So basically what this means is that the sexual appeals increased the memory for the advertisements, but they distracted the males from the actual brand information. So it was kind of counterintuitive. And this was due to the sexual appeals attracting the viewer's attention to their immediate processing. So there was increased memory for those sexual images in the advertisement. However, the sexual images distracted them, especially the male viewers, from actually learning the information that the brand was representing. The next peer-reviewed article I assessed had the topic of smoking and anti-smoking advertisements. So basically, what this study did is they had their sample size was 29 adolescents, and they showed these adolescents both for smoking and anti-smoking advertisements, but they removed any banners or any lettering from those advertisements to make it unbiased, so they could assess it just as they would without truly having any so they removed those, the actual lettering from those advertisements to just remove any biases. So what they found was that the participants found the for smoking advertisements more positively than they did the anti-smoking, and this was because the anti-smoking advertisements usually have more negative information and images to those than the actual for smoking ones do. And because individuals remember positive experiences a little bit more than they do the negative ones, that was what was found in this. It was just saying that anti-smoking advertisements would be more effective at decreasing smoking because of that reason. If those images were displayed more positively, then more individuals would most likely remember those advertisements. One of the mass media articles that I found was about false memories and advertisements. So in this article, it was just explained that vivid and detailed advertisements are able to create false memories. And what the study was in this article that the author talked about was a study about popcorn. So the researchers used Orville Redenbacher popcorn, and one group they actually had taste the popcorn, but it wasn't Orville Redenbacher; it was a different brand. In another group, they provide advertisements for this popcorn, but it wasn't very detailed or vivid. And then in another group, or the last group, they showed advertisements for this popcorn, but it was really vivid and detailed. And about a week or so later, they reassessed what these individuals remembered. So it was found that those in the less vivid advertisements described the popcorn as if they truly hadn't eaten it. They just saw those advertisements, whereas those in the highly vivid images and those who actually tried the popcorn both remembered it about the same, that they actually tried the popcorn, not just that the group with the vivid images, not just that they saw the advertisement. Majority of them actually remembered eating the popcorn, and that's how it created the false memory. And that was really it on this one. And then the last peer-reviewed article I assessed that I chose was about just how individuals remember advertisements. And basically this article just explained that social identity is the method of how advertisers reach out to specific populations. So the examples they used is to reach out to the geriatric population, advertisers will use an elderly man talking about a mortgage. And to reach out to the younger female population, advertisers will use a younger model with, just who's very attractive, wearing clothes that they're representing or advertising for. And that's just so that those specific individuals and those specific populations feel like they fit in with that specific advertisement, therefore helping them remember what they saw. And because they remember what they saw, they're more inclined to buy those products. And so it also explained that if there's an identity change or threat in the advertisement, so if there's a younger individual representing a mortgage for the older population or for the geriatric population, most likely that individual won't remember that advertisement, therefore they won't buy that product. And it's just naturally, individuals are naturally motivated to kind of forget that information because they don't really identify with it. And that's kind of why religious, political, gender-oriented advertisements, those advertisers have to be really specific with what they present and what they don't, because individuals who don't apply to that or don't believe in that will automatically forget that and decide not to buy that product or decide not to invest in whatever that advertisement is presenting. So as for concepts from the book, the fading bias effect, which was in the Memory and Movies, What Films Can Teach Us About Memory by John Seaman book. Those are just memories that fade as time passes, but individuals remember happier events more than they do the negative ones. And the one exception to this is, of course, traumatic memories that are difficult to forget. And what this kind of goes along with were those 2 peer-reviewed articles that I brought up, because excuse me, individuals who had like an emotional reaction or remembered something positive, such as those sexual advertisements and the positive images seen for smoking, those individuals remembered those advertisements more simply because they were positive, and individuals are more inclined to remember positive information and experiences than they are the negative, because they just automatically kind of get rid of those memories. Another specific concept was false memories, and this is when individuals have complete memories of events that they think that they did and they actually went through, but in reality it never happened, and it was just like kind of what they imagined. And that goes towards the study with the popcorn. Those individuals had such a vivid imagination because of those advertisements showing that they actually maybe showing individuals that they were eating popcorn, and because those images were so vivid, these individuals actually remembered eating the popcorn when in reality they just imagined it, they didn't actually eat it. And source monitoring error, that's when imagination can induce a false memory, and that goes along with false memories, of course. So individuals confuse imagining a situation with actually remembering it and thinking that they went through that, and that also goes with the popcorn study, and the last concept are mirror neurons. And these are kind of explained in the book as these are a part of the cortical network, and they're cells that become activated once a specific person behaves or has an experience that is emotional, but also when they see someone else who's behaving in an emotional manner. So this kind of goes with the last peer-reviewed article, or the last mass media article that I brought up. And that's because individuals relate and they feel like they're within a specific population and they feel like socially identified. Because of that, if they see somebody who has gone through a similar experience with them, or even if they see something that's emotionally eliciting, then they relate to that, and they have that same empathetic feeling as of seeing somebody who's going through a specific situation. And these can kind of be and all of these concepts can kind of be applied to the different articles and the different peer-reviewed articles and the mass media articles, as well. And this right here, this right here is the references for the articles that I used. And overall, that's it. It's interesting how how advertisements can really affect your memory, and how advertisers actually go through this information, and how this research is actually used to help those advertisers figure out how to target a specific population, or how to get individuals to buy a specific product. Thank you for watching.